You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
And today on our Weight Loss Wednesday show, we're going to get right into our topic of the day. And this actually just came from myself just a couple hours ago working with one of my body transformation clients. And so I said, you know what? This needs to be turned into a full 10-minute show. We need to talk more about this topic because, you know what? It's just so prevalent. And so the question is, does weight loss really start in the kitchen? And does that mean, does it really come from your nutrition and what you're eating or even what other people are cooking? Or, is it more exercise-based? Is it more lifestyle-based? Is it more stress-based? Those specific types of things. So what I want to share with is I've been working with this client for a good amount of time, and they've gotten to their goals, meaning like they've gotten their health issues under control, and they've gotten to the point where they've lost all the weight except about 10 to 15 pounds. And from them, they fully recognize it, they fully understand it, and they're just coming to grips with it now, is that they are a stress-based eater. And what happens is they almost become unaware of what they're eating. And so the way I got my client to understand it is this. I said, you are doing everything right in terms of your exercising. You're exercising 3 days a week with weights. You are exercising 5 total days with cardio, meaning intervals and all of that. And you're taking a day or two off maximum. I said, that's all you need to do in terms of exercise and boosting your metabolism through exercise. You've got that covered. Okay. So now we need to look at your sleep. And your sleep right now is about 7 hours. Should it be 8? Can it be 8? We would like it to be. But this person's schedule doesn't really allow for that, at least right now. They haven't made that one of their top priorities. And I understand they're a busy executive. They have a very, very busy schedule. I understand that. So they're getting 7. We compromise there, and they're doing that part well. And they're doing a lot of the other things in their life really well, meaning like in order to lose weight, you need to really work on your health first, get your health balanced. You need to make sure you're getting adequate sleep. You need to make sure that your body's pretty well detoxed. You need to make sure that you're getting exercise and that you're boosting your metabolism at the same time. And then after that, we really can't blame it on too many other things except for our nutrition, meaning like we've fixed their metabolism, we fixed the endocrine system, the hormones, all of those things. And so now we're looking at, is what's really going on? And the issue is this, is that the problem with food is that we have a lot more opportunity to get it wrong or to mess up, as I like to say. And the reason is this: you're eating 4 or 5 times, sometimes more per day. You're not exercising that many times. You're not sleeping that many times. You go to bed once. You are exercising just once, if that. And again, with exercise, if you're exercising every other day, you're way ahead of the game. You can get in phenomenal shape with an every other day exercise routine. And I talk about that in the welcome package to my website that's obviously free, and you can download it. So, what I look at is this is just, we have so many opportunities that there's sometimes a lot of temptations. And I'm not going to lie or say that that doesn't come up, because it does. But here's the thing. Weight loss truly does start in the kitchen, meaning that I've seen people lose 17 pounds in 3 weeks many times, multiple times, like 15 plus pounds many times, whether they're just on a good nutrition plan like the Fatlocity that we do, one of our body transformation clients using Fatlocity, or maybe they're doing a detox, or maybe they're doing another nutrition plan. Obviously, right. Ours aren't the only one. And so, but I can see that happen in 21 days. And sometimes they're just an online customer who found out about information and they're doing it on their own. They're not necessarily doing it in our Boston practice. The majority of people don't obviously come to see us in our Boston practice. And they get those results, and they get them without exercising. So you have to say to yourself, how big a factor is exercise? Now, I like to say this, it is a big factor, and I'll talk about this more in the future. But in the short term, you can lose the weight necessarily without doing a lot of exercise. In the long term, exercise is actually more important because you need to boost and build up the metabolism so that you don't end up crashing down afterwards. That's really important. But when it comes right down to it, the majority of your results are going to come from a solid nutrition plan. And let's talk about now some of the ways that these things sneak in, because my body transformation client, this person's not the only one, that things sneak into their diet that they don't even know about. Meaning, like, they were out to dinner, they were eating a lot of cauliflower the other night because they thought that would be an excellent choice. And I said, that's a fantastic choice. They were over someone's house. That was one of the best choices, so they were trying to load up on it. And I said, was it fried though? Did it have oil on it? They said, yeah, it had some oil. And I said, okay. And then what else? They said, oh, just some spices. I said, all right. So it had some oil. I said, but how much did you eat? And they said, well, probably about 2 bowls full, because I was just trying to focus on my veggies. And I said, and again, although that's great, it's actually very inflammatory because you had anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's kind of like if you cover it in chocolate, right? If you cover something in chocolate, it all of a sudden takes away those health properties, like goji berries covered in chocolate and blueberries covered in chocolate. Whenever you do that, you're really taking away the full effect of it. Well, that's what happens. We take these vegetables and we fry them in oil. And the problem is, one is every tablespoon, which is such a tiny amount, that's like not even just cupping your hand, that would be like 3 tablespoons. What happens is each one of those tablespoons is 120 calories. But beyond that, beyond the extra, 800 calories that you would just eat in oil from those 2 bowls of cauliflower, is that it's fried, and that what happens is that oil becomes oxidized, creating a lot of free radicals, which means it's going to create a lot of inflammation in your body. When your body's high in inflammation, really difficult to lose weight, really difficult not to retain a lot of that toxic water weight. Not a healthy situation for your joints, for having good, clear thought, for your skin, for anything, mood, all of these things, because you just have massive inflammation. So that's the other part, is that we get caught up with these hidden everyday foods. When someone makes us a juice, we're like, oh, this is a fresh pressed juice. This is fantastic. But it probably is, the majority of it is just fruit juice, meaning like they're just juicing a lot of fruit. And that's not the ideal way to get your fruit. Your ideal way to get the fruit is with the fiber. Unless we're talking about really some low glycemic fruits, or maybe a little bit of green apple or a little bit of pineapple, those things aren't just something you want to load up on. Don't want to load up on a lot of sugar, and you don't want to load up on a lot of oils. So these are the things that sneak in there so very easily. So, and I don't like to just leave you, like a lot of people do, is like they build you up, they tell you how awful the world is and how difficult it is to succeed. I can agree that things can be challenging to succeed, but there is always a way if you are interested. If you really want to succeed, meaning like if your goal is really to lose weight, you will lose the weight. You just have to put it a priority above many other things. And that's why I've never seen anything work better than committing to anything, any nutrition plan that you feel will work for you. Commit to that for 21 days, whether it's the Dr. Cabral Detox, whether it's our Fat Loss Nutrition Plan, whether it is a book that you read, whether it's a friend's recommendation that's for a safe and healthy based one. Pick something, commit to it for 21 days that you're not going to cheat. You're just not going to. That's just the way it is. There's never a perfect time to start. There never will be, so don't look for it. It is what it is. Even on like Thanksgiving coming up here in the U.S., you're still going to be able to do it. You're going to have turkey for dinner. You're going to have your veggies. You're going to have salad. You can bring some vegetables to the dinner that you might be going to. You can make it happen. You really can. There's always a way. You just have to make that a bigger priority. And then after that, what can you control? Well, for most people can control breakfast. Even if it's on the run, you make a smoothie. That's my biggest recommendation in the world. Make a smoothie. Do that. You're so far ahead of the game. You're fully hydrating your body. You're using an all-in-one powder. At least take it with a multivitamin. Use a vegan-based protein powder so it's hypoallergenic. And then you're going to mix it with a cup of berries. You can put in some greens if you want, some greens powder. I mean, it's phenomenal, and you got that part of your day right. So now you're good. You're good until lunch, because you can drink that smoothie over the course of an hour and a half or so. Now lunch you have to get right, and you have to get dinner right. Okay, so if you're home for dinner, well then hopefully you can control that a little bit better. Lunch, you might be eating out, so you gotta plan those places ahead of time. Now mid-afternoon, you want to make sure that this time when you start to get low, you have something there. Meaning like you brought another just shaker bottle with some powder in it, or you brought a cup of berries, or you brought some raw nuts or something like that. Whatever's going to, just enough to satiate you between the 2 major meals, and it's going to make you feel better so that you don't cheat. Remember, it's about planning ahead. It is absolutely about planning ahead. Remember, the big saying is always this, right? If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. That's really the bottom line, because you don't have backups. You don't have anything that's going to keep you on track. The littlest thing at work could keep you there, could make you stress, whatever, and you need those things already thought out about that morning or the night before. I always like to make that to-do list the night before, and that can also be where your meals are going to be. And you don't have to do this for the rest of your life. What I found is this, that if after you do the 21 days of planning, it becomes a habit, it becomes more of a lifestyle. In the back of your mind's like, oh, no, we're just going to go to this place to grab lunch. Or if we go to the place with everybody's getting pizza or sandwiches, they also make a salad, and they make that salad with, I could put chickpeas on top, or I could put grilled chicken, or I could fish, whatever it is that you want, and a couple different alternatives so that I'm not always eating the same thing. Remember, you can make this happen. I have no doubt about that. If you've been struggling for a long time and you need a place to focus, I want you to focus on the nutrition first. Once you master the nutrition, then you can add in the exercise. Once you master the exercise, you're going to do better in the sleeping, you're going to do better in the lifestyle, you're going to do better on all the other detox-based things like the dry brushing or the Epsom salts and all those different things. But let that come later. That's not number one. That's not the first thing. The first thing is nutrition. Starting to get into good, healthy habits. That's my bottom line for people. It makes the biggest difference. At least 80% of your results I've seen. And again, there's no straight number you could possibly give someone. But what I've seen is this: if you don't use the nutrition, if you don't start there, really challenging, because there's no way you can out-exercise a bad diet. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into the Cabral Concept. Really do enjoy bringing these shows to you. And if there's ever any suggestions for show topics or any questions you do have, feel free to just go to the website, stevencabral.com/Ask Cabral. Have a great day, and please do feel free to share any episode you feel it could help others. Ever wonder what the best sauna, blue blockers, sleep trackers, wake lights, salt lamps, or other health gadgets are? Or what about the top non-toxic mattresses, sheets, soaps, bath products, toothpaste, and cookware? Or would you like to know the cleanest choices for hemp parts, meal delivery services, supplements, and much more? I personally curated, researched, and now created a resource page of all of my top picks that continues to grow each week. These are the exact products I use in my own life, with my family, in my private practice, and they're the ones I trust. To find out all of my up-to-date recommendations and all the details, simply head on over to stevencabral.com/resources.